As a 53-year-old woman, I understand that menopause changes things for most of us and does require a unique strategy. In this video, I will discuss how our body changes as we step into menopause and how we can change things around to make our life, even better. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. But my question to you is, what challenges are you facing right now? Whether you're near menopause or in your menopause, I can tell you from my experience that high blood pressure, belly fat, fat around the waistline, hot flashes, overweight, knee pain, back pain, and the list goes on and on and on. You name it, I get them. However, it may not as bad as some that I heard about, like some who have to be on medication. Even some women who had never gained a pound in their entire life are now seeing changes around the waistline and the guilt of hanging belly. However, I found an effective weight loss method that works well for me. I also heard from other women who have said that they experience an increase of sugar craving and onset of menopause and beyond. And when I think about the psychology of the body as it is going through menopause, both of these challenges make sense because of two hormones, and the first one is estrogen. As the ovaries are the primary producers of estrogen, and as we age, our ovaries start producing less estrogen. Fat get redirected to your abdominal area. The weight gain is most likely around the belly, and it's not really clear why this happened. But as far as the overall weight gain during menopause, we we do see that when estrogen is suppressed, we experience a more slowdown in our metabolic rate, which of course can be contributing factor. And we also know that while our ovaries are our primary producer of estrogen, the fat cells are a secondary source. If you find this video helpful, subscribe to the channel. As we age, the ovaries no longer produce enough estrogen or estrogen. As we age, or the ovaries no longer produce enough estrogen or estrogen. So it is possible that the body looks at additional ways to regain some of its estrogen. The reality is that at at the age of 50, women have a natural tendency to put on belly fat. However, this belly fat and weight gain do not have to be a reality if we control another important hormone called insulin. Insulin is the hormone that has the most influence over whether your body will store fat. Insulin is a fat storing hormone. So when you eat a meal, it is the insulin job to move the nutrients that you consume into your cells, where they can either be burned immediately as energy or stored for later use in places like your muscles and or fats and or the fat cells. When we were young and active, our cells were very sensitive to insulin. So every time insulin would drop off nutrients to our cells would gladly receive them and put them and use them. But as we age, our cells became less sensitive to insulin. So when insulin brings the nutrients to the cell resists insulin attempt to drop it off, and which is referred to as insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a very common problem, and two important consequences are cravings and weight gain. Cravings for carbohydrate increase because the cells are not taking in the energy it needs. So our body determines that there is a need for more energy to be eaten. Carbs are the quickest form of food energy. They are what we crave for, like cookies and candies, bread, pasta, and those type of food cause weight gain. Insulin resistance is when you end up with too much insulin in your system, and this happens because the cells are not responding to the insulin as your pancreas pumped out more of it in an attempt to kind of force the cells to open. That chronically high insulin encourages fat storage. Insulin resistance is not just an age related thing. It is made worse by increased belly fat, which is a result lower estrogen, as well as other factors like poor sleep is also a contributor. And of course, other lifestyle factors are going to factor in, like a long history. If you have a long history of eating high refined carbs and lack of exercise and chronic stress, which produces more cortisol and contributes to the belly fat as well. And so what we see is that menopause has the potential to create a perfect storm of weight gain. So to make weight loss easier for menopausal women, we need to disrupt the cycle. And we do that by targeting things we can control. Now, we're not going to turn back the clock and naturally renew our estrogen output, but we can work with our bodies to allow them to use estrogen more efficiently and lessen the impact of insulin resistance. And that starts with your diet. And that is high in protein and high healthy fats. You see, all of our cells are surrounded by fatty cell membranes. So making sure that your diet includes healthy fats and exclude unhealthy fats is important for the health of your cell membranes. The healthy cell membranes allow for the transport of hormones into your cell, which is where all the work is performed. So eating high protein and health and high healthy fats will also help decrease your craving. Essentially, the fats we get from nuts, avocado, fatty fish, and high quality meat provide beneficial fats. And the fats to stay away from, in my opinion, are vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil that are so common in process. The most effective way to overcome weight loss resistance for menopausal women are to utilize a low carb diet with intermittent fasting. And these strategies allow you to work around insulin resistance because they naturally decrease your body's need for insulin, particularly sugar and refined carbs and sugary stuff like muffins that causes spikes in insulin, which puts your body into a fat storing mode that we talked about earlier. So avoiding sugar and refined carbs allow your insulin levels to remain steady, which gives your body a chance to release fat. So, intermittent fasting is a simple strategy that I use, and it involves shortening the number of hours you eat during the day. A good place to start is the 16-8 method, which is 16 hours fasting and eight and eat between that 8 hour period. So you start like 11 a.m. and then you stop at 7 p.m. This is a great way to make weight loss easier for a menopausal woman, including following a high fat, high protein, and low carbs diet, and practicing the intermittent fasting. A few days out of the week are a good place to start. This will take some practice until you get into it, especially for people who does not eat early breakfast. This will be good for you. Work on your circadian rhythm that limit late night eating, which naturally comes when you practice intermittent fasting, as an effective way to help with sleep quality, because our body is able to complete the digestion process before you go to bed and to get better sleep. Quality sleep brings more energy, which makes you more active and more able to cope with stress. And these things all work together, and the changes can be seen quite quickly. So while you acknowledge that menopause throw us some curveball, there are ways to make weight loss easier. My coaching program as a high protein, high fat, and low carbs menu. So we can work together and get you to start. We take out the guesswork for you. You don't have to worry about that. Just leave your comment below and I will personally get back to you. You need help with if it's something that you need help with. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day.